We're here for our opening game in Group B of our inaugural European series in Thunderpick. And it's going to be Rush B on the T side of their map pick. And they are going fast and furious out onto this A-bomb side. Sira's only able to deal with one. And Christu, more than that, he is tapping away, dancing behind default. And because of his heroics, that is the multi-kill that ex-Static needed. But Kiro, oh my god, no armor. That was a 1 versus 3. What? It looks like that's definitely the plan anyways. 3 players mobilizing with Kinky on a Mac 10 on Silo. Analele spotted close, and ooh, that's a lot of utility from ex-Static that ultimately really favors them. Texi was unable to get towards Secret, and then he got naded as well, down to like 4 HP, and then a flashbang came in. Rush B, they don't really have much utility left. They're using everything to see if they can continue their wrap outside, and TMB up close is not effective with the 5-7, but there's just so many numbers here for ex-Static, and it's going to have to be another 1 versus 3 for Executor. And, well, not for him, but for Rush B, this time Executor. And he does actually pick up the first, and Christu does miss a scout tag, which could have been quite valuable. The bomb can be collected, Jack. He can get it. He can drop vent because Nut is heaven with a 5-7. So, yeah, he's got a lot of space to work with. And instead of dropping vent, he's going to go towards Secret. Oh, he doesn't get into Secret. Okay, that's awkward. And now there's no time. He can attempt to go down B, but yeah, Nut's come down the vent. And because he's so low, you said ex-Static, you said Rush B to be careful. There you go. Well, as their name suggests, they're going down B very fast, but Analele is actually instantly dropped, and Texi is just not going to anticipate that. What a fantastic counter read from Analele.
2 more players spotted down Secret. TMB going down this vent is a big risk, and you know exactly that. Rotator has to come in from ramp instead, so you still have 2 players that are going to be manning that B bomb site, but the danger is up towards A right now. But another player picked off Crystal. Finding that frag means that Rush B are going to have to either commit down to this B bomb site here or fly up the vent to go towards A, but Executor already been spotted, means that surely their hand has been known. But that kill interests me a little bit. The vent walk could happen right about now, and there's nobody on A.
Oh, Sira pushes ramp, and he also loses his life to 13 HP Executor. Kiro, now he is looking to come up the vent. This is starting to get a little bit troublesome. Bomb should be planted. And it's going to have to be this 3 versus 3 retake. TMB had a kit, so he's dropped that over towards door. But that's going to have to be collected if ex-Static want to try and make this retake work. And look how slow they're being. Nut didn't even go up heaven because he gets mollowed off. There's a kit picked up. Analele off Sira's body. Executor, 13 HP from the get-go. Finally put down. Bomb, though, really ticking away. Christu isn't able to get a shot off, and Zinni gets 2. Is that enough? The kit's been collected on the bomb itself, and that's perfect for Nutna. It's made the defuse possible, and this retake does come through, but a very expensive round after a really good and strong opening 2 kills.
Re-smoke's going to go down as well, so they can cross safely down Secret if they want to. And ex-Static, this is the first round that they don't really have too much of the information.
Yeah, and because of that, it's forced a rotation from Nut. So that's going to move Christu. Well, I thought he was going to go ramp, but he's actually remained in heaven. And that's going to be really helpful to support Analele because he's dueling them outside in garage, only able to get 1. But HP favoring ex-Static in this 4 versus 4. TMB, he just moves away from A. They just take that fight, but remember, ramp is a little bit open because Nut dropped, and Christu never actually rotated because of outside. However, coming back in the nick of time, he picks off 1 and gets the information of the others. Nut, they're just not even going to check for him. Really surprised that they don't expect him to be dropped, and that's the... Wow. That is a really easy collection of 2 kills. I am shocked they are not more aware of the potentiality of him dropping down ramp. Okay, not quite. 3 of them at least combined.
At least you didn't firm it on that one. It was a little bit questionable, definitely.
What is going on?
That's such an incredible timing to get a push there. Catching with a player with a nade out, and that's just another easy pick. Problem for Rush B as well is that, you know, the entries have actually just not gone their way at all either. And again, you know, this wall of smokes towards outside. They're flash peeking. They're looking towards main. Analele is still down towards secret. Texing is holding for him at least and knows about this. And maybe they've got a little bit of a timing towards ramp, but still, it's not going to plan. Your outside presence has been foiled and spoiled one more time. And now it's on Kinky to try and take a little bit of space, but Nutnut is playing so passive here. And this is something that you might not be expecting. Still, though. They're still in towards the heavens to try and make it a little bit difficult for Rush B, as they are forced with no other option but to back up and try and play towards this B bomb site.
Very surprised Nutnut very actively leaves ramp there, right? And goes very late to re-clear it. He puts so much focus on outside when there are already 3 players there. But just look at these rotations from ECSTATIC. They have really gambled this B bomb site because there's only 1 player on A, and the gamble's perfect. Analele, Sira, Crossfire is lovely. And then even though they both fall, look how quickly TMB was to the approach on ramp. So sure, that round does get a little bit more contested. So I think Nutnut, was it TMB in main there who got the opening kill?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, that's the big kill for me. That's like the #1 kill of the round because it just shuts down their X Factor play. So a really good awareness from him to just very acutely watch that pop. And they're going out A again, but they've taken a lot of damage to the nades already. TMB once again getting very high impact kills. A nade in the main smoke. Zinni does get a trade, but Christu eliminates him swiftly. ECSTATIC once again playing with no respect, and it's Kiro up for the 1 versus 2, playing very defensively on ramp, and you can see he's holding behind. But Nutnut, is he gonna anticipate someone coming from behind in heaven? No, he's being backstabbed. Yeah, there was nothing about that Nutnut expected, and now actually looking winnable. The only round Rush B have won so far on their T side was a 1 versus 3 from yours truly. And now he's looking for another clutch. Hating out Christu, but it doesn't matter. The Tech 9, it came straight into Kiro's welcoming arms. But he just hits instant headshot anyways.
He's going to take the bait. I mean, yeah, baits him all the way up, but you still lose the gunfight, unfortunately. And, you know, it's another rush round that they go for. It's another just, let's just see what happens, because we know nothing has worked. Their plans are just being stopped every single time. And I would expect this round to be quite the same. Maybe they might go into a little bit of a pop, but no, it's another rush out towards A. This time TNB is going to fall, and eventually it is going to work. Eventually you are going to get the better of it, but you need this second round if you're going to be in any way competitive. You take that bomb site, it's down to a retake. A 3 versus 4 is going to be difficult to get on back. Still, you cannot write ECSTATIC. Oh, what a shot through the smoke. And all of a sudden, Rush B now begin to panic a little bit, because ECSTATIC, everything seems to be going their way. Everything seems to be going right. Not with a kill. Information gathered as Risto begins to creep up behind, but Kinky is ready. Analele, it is down to him. He picks up a kill, but finally, it is Rush B picking up a round aside from the pistol, but it is looking like it is too little, too late.
It's not a good sign when this is supposedly Rush B's map pick, and ECSTATIC are going on to a map where they're arguably one of the best teams in Europe on. However, good start at least for Zinni. Gets the opening kill onto Sira, who is trying to make some headway outside. And okay, Christu just offers up a second. A very simplistic 5 versus 3 so far for Rush B, as ECSTATIC now look to group up and head towards ramp. They've spotted one towards hell. Julie's up close. Perfect work. Kiro got a 1 versus 3 in the first pistol, and a very needed 2K in the second. It's a step in the right direction for Rush B.
It's the rounds that follow after that I am very concerned with. especially because ECSTATIC, they've got a lot of nice little set pieces on these rounds with the Tech-9s, which could be a big problem. Smoke towards main, Flash is going to go out, TMB going to try and take a little bit of space as the presence has been shown, and Executor is actually rotated away from ramp here. He's just waiting in the vent.
He just couldn't get down. I don't know if you saw it. It struggled. So he's made a lot of presence, and oh no, TMB's holding the vent was holding the vent rotation. That's an insane drop down from Zinni, but it's all going wrong, man. It's going so wrong. The Tech-9s, you said they can be dangerous, and they have been. They get down ramp, and then the retake is just futile.
Everything going to be invested again here from Rush B, but it's still not a lot, right? You've got a couple of pistols, you've got 2 SMGs, and Zinni getting aggressive here. This could be absolutely perfect, but these MAC-10s begin to sing. They go for a lobby crunch, and they get shut down exactly like they have from the get-go in this game. It is down to Texi to try and save them. A 1 versus 4. No, it's quite low, so that one should be a freebie. It's a nice headshot to kick things off, but never expecting Cristo to re-peak from that exchange. And Rush B get ran over on their map pick. ECSTATIC with an absolute statement coming out of this one in map 1. And if Nuke has anything to go off, Train should be an absolute blowout.
That was an extraordinarily one-sided first map. Very much in favor of ECSTATIC. And now we're on their map pick. However, Rush B, they've only won pistol rounds. 2 of their 3 rounds are pistol rounds. So
Kiro is in quite a dangerous position right here. Stuck in towards upper. He is just playing for the information to get away, but he's walked in right now, right into the jaws of the opponent, knife out, never expecting anyone to be there. And that is a free kill to gather. And a team that were so good on the pistols, now in danger of losing that 100% record right now. As the flash goes wide, Zinni is going to swing all the way across. Bomb is going to be planted, and Sierra and Nutnut going to be able to vacate the bomb site as well, as they can just back away slowly together, and this becomes infinitely more difficult right now for Rush B. Kit and a smoke available to nullify that molly, but it's going to come down to the gunfights.
That, I think, is actually going to be the difference maker, to be honest, because now as this smoke gets on the bomb, Nutnut's thinking, ooh, I wanted to mollo it, and I can't. And here comes a defuse. Yep, bomb's being defused. And that's actually going to be the round win. Sierra does pick up both of those remaining kills through the smoke, but Rush B maintain their flawless pistol round record.
It is a necessity. It's a non-negotiable at this stage for Rush B, unfortunately. And this is still a terrifying round.
Oh,
right
dude,
now.
they're going.
They are going to send it out towards A right now. The T side, Texi going to be able to shut down Sierra. Analele so low, he's not even going to be able to make his way out. TMB needs to be cautious. He's the one with the bomb, needs the support to come behind him. But these rifles right now are just mowing absolutely everybody down. And ECSTATIC have not taken nearly enough space to be comfortable in this round.
Yeah, I mean, that round started very poorly with, I think, a nade doing, or multiple nades at least, doing around 150 damage. And ECSTATIC haven't got out of A main. They're just being mowed down. Nutnut is now left in a 1 versus 4, and he's on 3 HP. The spam is unrelenting. And this is a much better start for Rush B, because on Nuke, both of the pistol round victories were not converted. So this is at least just a little bit better from the CIS squad. And they keep 4 players alive. They save an AK A1S2 for masses. That is so much better already. It is good to see him very early on the big green for the first time this series. He got a 1 versus 3 in the first pistol round. Didn't really do much afterwards. So he's going to have to come up big. And unfortunately, he might not even be, well, used, because the B defender has fallen instantly. Executor threw the advanced progression smoke and tried to play around it. But I don't know, they just bully him out of it. And he was very much alone, trying to fight a losing cause, it felt like.
Yeah, he was wanting to just take that engagement, but he was very aggressive to be solo with no pop support either in that situation, which is just a little bit of a head scratcher, and that gives ECSTATIC just a perfect chance and a perfect opportunity to shut them down. Rush B are going to call the save here in this 3v5. Sierra, yeah, could really do a lot of damage. Kiro, we haven't seen him on that AWP, but a slow peak like that is going to give you a little bit of more confidence. This is getting awkward right now for Taxi. Nice little upgrade there if he wants it to go into connector and grab that after the round is up.
As you mentioned, it is a really good sign to see that the AWP and 2 other rifles do get at least saved over. And I think there's going to have to be a difference, because we can't, you know, ECSTATIC can't be giving up a kill like that. But this is really well played early stage for ECSTATIC. They don't allow pop control, and they're just fighting to make it very uncomfortable on A. However, even though they do seemingly get the advantage with putting Rush B in a very awkward position towards E-box, he's pushed very aggressive through Ivy. He's not going to be able to maybe get a kill from this position immediately, but he's going to be given a lot of sound cues and will be very fast on the rotation. And this is perfect because Kiro, he takes the first pot shot, and this just sets Kinky up. Bomb dropped. A 2 versus 5, now make it a 1 versus 5, and Lele does get a little bit of revenge, but this round has been a non-starter for ECSTATIC. They had their early setup, and they could never make any headway.
Welcome back. We are ready to go. Sorry about that little bit of a delay, but it looks like everything is fixed, and we are just ready to see if Flux can continue on their upward trajectory back into this series as a whole. It is a very aggressive from TMB, and there's a nice double kill to kick things off. ECSTATIC looking refreshed, the more refreshed out of the 2. Fresh off this one as a head appears through that smoke, and Analele is just going to take it off as Rush B forced to take cover. Executor, more specifically, take over in towards connectors. This bomb is going to be planted, but I do not see a route back into this round unless Kiro and Executor go huge, but they've already started it off perfect.
Is this enough though? They've done well to get 2 kills, but this was a 2 versus 5 retake from the get-go, so they still are a man's advantage. Now make it 2 as Executor goes quite ahead of Kiro. And even though the utility was good, and Kiro will pick up another kill to at least make this costly for ECSTATIC, it's still around the board for the Danes, and it's a much better showing coming out of the A-bomb side, isolating 3 separate duels really well around the utility, and also just pace coming out of A main and pop control. I like the original posture from Rush B because they have been struggling with pop. You're correct, you mentioned it. So Kiro posting early is a nice reaction, but it's that opening kill onto Kinky that's the big issue, because ECSTATIC have just reset and are looking to go out B, but TMB goes very ahead of the pack, and wow, Executor's held very mightily with the FAMAS going ahead of the smoke. 3 kills with 1 magazine, immaculate hold. And we were criticizing Executor because recently, you know, he lost their opening round. But instead, he single-handedly wins it, stays alive for the cavalry, and Rush B, that is an immaculate hold. This is a worrying scoreline to be staring at right now. And Executor, that's actually back-to-back triple kills, so he's really stepped up after that first gun round that he got picked onto. Another fast play out of a main, and Syrah, wow. Even though he needs to kind of be ready for that,
get something going after the space has been denied early, especially when you're running light on util. It really just comes down to the engagements, and this is going to be a miracle if ECSTATIC can get something out of it. The tag comes in there from the AWP, there's the swing, and nothing is going to be able to finish him off. Molly's going to force Kinky out of position here. He doesn't have a smoke for it, and TMB is going to be ready, but Kiro picks off 1 in the meantime. This is where it is down to just 2. Analele, bomb on his back, Texi in towards Khan. If he wins this fight, this round is done and dusted, but instead it's ECSTATIC that are still in with a chance. Both players extremely low. The unknown Executor not, but Lele hits an incredible shot, and all of a sudden, this round completely flips on its head. TMB not able to react in time, and the HP could be a massive factor now. AWP spotting the cross though, as Lele gets 3 in that round, and it is pulled out of the fire.
There was no sort of cohesion and playing with the numbers. That is super surprising that ECSTATIC able to pull that one over the line, but it's a very similar start. Syrah caught off guard as he's out of A main, but the reaction this time from ECSTATIC is way better. They fight their way through after Syrah falls, and they just take 3 down with them. Kiro very swiftly traded in Ivy, and ECSTATIC with a lot of conviction come flowing through A, and this round is way cleaner. It's not a 3 versus 5, it's not a 2 versus 4. It's just them in the driving seat. Uh-oh.
This is where things maybe get a little bit scary. Smoke going to be expended as TMB goes down for free. Executor look for a little bit more here, and Lele and Nut, they both seek refuge behind the bomb site. HG's gonna land, and it does a lot of damage. Molly's gonna force both the players out, and Lele, he's even gonna take him down. Not a team kill, not at this time. The swing across, both players completely blind. This turns into a messy round that Executor comes out on top in a big clutch as Rush B get that one back, and ECSTATIC, it is their turn to come up short in a round that they should have won convincingly. Yeah, he really has. You know, he's looked incredible, a lot of big-time clutches, and I feel like it is just kind of the life of a B player on this map, is that sometimes you will just have these games where you're absolutely dominating, quick pace of the round, but again, you're just getting absolutely ripped apart. Wow. Shrapnel on your exit out of main. Taxi mowing down 3 with ease, but still, you've got a chance in a 2 versus 3. Make that a 2v2. Op given away to Cristo is not the man that you want to be wielding that rifle. Lele at least taken out of a situation that could have got very scary. Cristo, all he needs is 1 bullet to connect on one and the next to land on the other, but it's that man. Executor in the clutch one more time, up close, looking for the swing. Cristo is gonna miss, and this man cannot be stopped. A 17-4 first half tops off a 9-3 for Rush B, and this is such an improvement from what we've seen on Nuke.
They start to fall back because Kristu's been gooshed. Nut back to B. Lele goes from pop into A main with TMB. But Rush B are just holding for this. They anticipate a push to come through. And even though Kiro does lose a lot of HP, he's going to be cleaning out both of these offensive players into A main. And remember, Kristu gooshed very early on. He's currently the only defender on this A bomb site with 15 HP. Now 6. This is going to be a pretty impossible hold, and they're not even going A. Zinni's in connector, man. Zinni has walked through the connector smoke, and Rush B have entered onto the B bomb site. Syrah, who pushed towards Ivy, now has to get a 1 versus 3 4K, and he won't even get past the second. Rush B flawless on the pistol rounds, and they hit double digits very early on into this second half. The only way this round is even remotely winnable is if Syrah gets both of these kills. And you know what? They might not expect him. Never mind, they do. But he still gets both of them. Oh, hold on a second. 2 AKs collected, and the cavalry has come to reinforce from the B bomb site. That stack B, they started to progress forward. They were taking space. There's also only 6 seconds left. The bomb finally will be planted. Never mind, denied. Zinni forced to come off it, and ECSTATIC, how have they just pulled that off? They even kill Zinni after time. 2 AKs are saved, and ECSTATIC, is this the start of something more? Oh, wait, no, he actually throws a fake smoke over towards archers on A. It's surprising they don't use that. Instead, yeah, he's not even gonna mollo connector. It misses. But regardless of very poor utility from Rush B, Nut is at least blinded by one of the opening flashbangs. And oh my god, Texi, that is disgraceful. He just runs through and on a swivel nails 2 of them as they're trying to progress through connector. 20-8. You said that there's a lot of reliance right now on Executor and Texi. Hey man, if they're able to just enter onto the bomb sites and kill everyone, fair, I guess it works.
Yeah, I still do have a problem with it, but I mean, it works in that round.
It's working, isn't it, though?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Is that going to be a difference maker? Because ECSTATIC looked like they just got caught off guard last round. It was very surprising that, you know, the first play to 4 had util out, and they're just going. Rush B are popping. A lot of flashbangs. Not blinded, but then peeks his head up and claims 2. Nice off angle. That then facilitates Christu to execute with the AWP, and this is significantly better from ECSTATIC. Previous round, they got caught with their pants down, but now they don't even allow people to get out of ramp in heaven. Well, the bomb's in pop, I think. Yeah, 3 players in pop, 1 Ivy, 1 main. Flashbang's got to be good, but it's only really Zinni. Yeah, this can be difficult for them to get out of pop because there's no util to support them, but Christu is only able to get 1. However, the crunch is... well, it's kind of what you anticipate when there's no utility. And even though Kinky does get the jump on Alalele, it doesn't matter. And ECSTATIC, that's a pretty easy cleanup because, yeah, I don't know. There just wasn't really any utility to dispose of anyone holding for them to run out pop. And A main control was in favor of ECSTATIC. So everyone was just like, okay, I will look at pop. Disposing Syrah of A main control. TMB's also got an extra smoke, so he can re-smoke A main, and they can just fight pop, because it looks like pop is going to be the entry point. Smoke's pulled. Christu, he takes contact with the AWP, and TMB, ooh, maybe overextends a little bit, and Syrah also falls in A main. Now it's gone a little bit wrong, but Christu still maintaining success with the orb, and now the rotations come from the B bomb site. ECSTATIC looking for double digits, and now a 1-round game. This looked done and dusted. Rush B felt like they were going to do the impossible and just annihilate one of the best teams in Europe on Train.
They need to, again, I'm going to reiterate the point, they need to fight them in A main, whether it's aggressive or retake it a little bit later on. They need to just actually go in and take these engagements, or maybe try and swing out pop early. Christo, though, pushing towards Ivy, finding that opener, and that is, again, ECSTATIC with a lot of the control, and now an opening pick. Syrah, he can just hold on to this position right now, and you can see Zinni doesn't want to fight him because he's solo.
Syrah is equally quite alone. Molotov at his feet. Syrah forced to throw a smoke. Not really much Zinni can do about this, but it's just going from bad to worse for Rush B. Christu, he's got 13 kills. Doesn't look amazing on the front, on the face of it, but he's been supreme on this CT side and just consistently getting a kill or 2. And now, speaking about supreme performances, Alalele is pushing the B-bomb site, but Texi's holding for him. Nut is also there with him, but he fails. ECSTATIC falter in the 5 versus 3. Was it necessary to get aggressive? I don't think so. And look at this call from Rush B. They throw util over towards B and then pivot A. Now a Molotov and connector as well to negate the rotations, and Syrah just swings for the fences and falls by himself. It's all falling apart. At the 11th hour, when it felt like ECSTATIC had done enough, over-aggression will be the bane of this Danish side. And it's calling for the IGL and Orpa to clutch up a massive performance, but TMB's already fallen. And Christu, he can go for this. They have the economy. They can repurchase in the next, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be any easier. I think time's already ticked a little bit too low. Christu will pick up 1, but I don't know. What can he do? Nothing. It's Zinni to put the nail in the coffin, and it's another multi-kill from Texi. I'm in the same vein as you. It comes down to round 24. That's a lot of people going towards the B-bomb site very early on for Rush B. Christu is close with the AWP, and he will strike down the first. Rush B do not want to accelerate off that. They do not want to walk into the welcoming arms, the deathly arms of the AWP, and TMB is getting aggressive. Zinni not able to replicate his teammate's performance from the previous round, and a smoke is going to allow for the evacuation, but they don't know if they can get out cleanly. Oh, Kinky, what a misstep, what a blunder. He gets the perfect timing out of A main as Sira and TMB push into pop, but he's not able to activate off it. And we were mentioning that this was basically the only opportunity for Rush B. And I feel like they've squandered it. Again, TMB getting very aggressive. Is that necessary in the 5 versus 2? I don't think so. He will fall, and is this going to plague them like the previous aggression did?
It is only one player that gets caught out of place. So at least you have that going for you. 35 seconds though. You're just going to try and make your way out on this bomb site if you're Rush B. No point saving. Just trying to make something work. But it's still a 4 versus 2. It's still going to be extremely difficult, especially with Sarah sat in that smoke and Lele is just going to get it done. That was your chance, and unfortunately, you're going to have to wave that one by.
A new dawn. And Anna Lele. Okay, they're just running at him for a smoke. An intriguing way to start off your T-side overtime. A main control, not in the hands of ECSTATIC, but I don't think it's mattering. TMB, once again, getting a little bit too aggressive for my liking. It's a 5v3, and it's going to work. I don't like it, though, but it is going to work. Because remember why Rush B of 12? It was a 5 versus 3, and people got overly aggressive. But in this occasion, ECSTATIC just smother Rush B, and it's going to be them taking the lead for the first time on this map, and they're going to do so flawlessly as TMB continues his aggression.
Somebody has decided to look over towards main on that timing. They're focused on a couple of other things. Again, Rush B are going to try and exploit over towards Ivy. It's a good HE. This time, Sira is actually going to back up to make sure he doesn't take the brunt of that one. And ECSTATIC, we're expecting something maybe quick out towards this bomb site. Again, it's going to be exactly the same. This time paired with a flash, and Alele is going to be completely blind, but still.
And as you mentioned, it's taken a little bit longer, but they are going towards B. And there are 2 defenders here. There's a smoke and ramp. Nutnuts playing very close to it. And Rush B, as they come out, they will not clear him. Oh, it's immaculate on the spray transfer. 2 quick kills. And Rush B have no idea what hit them. No one cleared the close corner. And Christu's even come over to provide extra overwatch towards Heaven. And this is what I mean. Christu has picked up a kill in both of these rounds of overtime. They're not the round-winning kill. It's not flashy, but they're just the consistent kills that Kiro is not even remotely contesting right now.
And especially on train as well, I've seen him do some ridiculous things, but he is just getting those opportunities and those
kills you need.
Yeah, kills you need, just the important ones. Hey, Rush here, looks like maybe Rush B might be out of a couple of ideas, but this has worked out. It's a lovely double to kick things off, and the trade frags are working out in the meantime as well. Not though, dropping the bomb, getting in the face of the last remaining T's, and Nutnut is just ripping their faces off. Kiro trapped now behind this Molotov, dumps a HE, only with a Galil and 50 HP to try and get at least a single T round. Nutnut trying to deny it, but it is Cristo. He's a man that we talked about, a man that is usually good for one, and this time is no different. 15-12, ECSTATIC dominate that CT side of OT.
ECSTATIC now have 3 opportunities to close out map 2 and close out this series and win out their opening game in Group B.
Cristo looking for the kill, and yeah, just get it. Absolutely airstrike by the HGs. TMB trying to spray them all down, and there's another player though that has made his way out, and that's Sira. And ECSTATIC right now just picking everybody off one by one. Yeah, they're going to run him down as well. Sira's going to try and walk through the smoke, knowing Kiro probably isn't going to be holding it. This is an incredible timing to pick, but Kiro turns. He pivots at a moment. Still though, looking at Lele, he's already deep through B.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the information, but Executor rotated off the B bomb side when all those kills started to come flowing in. Now, he's stuck behind a Molotov. He's going to smoke it, and he's going to try go through. Not quite. Starting to wonder if that smoke was necessary. Kiro does at least have another smoke for the defuse. and Lille's in a very oppressive position. They're not going to expect this. First strike falls, and then Nut is there to crossfire a perfection of a round, and ECSTATIC go flawless in overtime. They complete the comeback.